this brings us to the private equity's new playbook. For private equity, this evolution is transformative. This out-of-court restructuring allows the PE firms to maintain their equity positions even when their portfolio companies remain technically insolvent. It's financial engineering that preserves upside while pushing losses onto creditors who lack the sophistication or the leverage to fight back effectively. The time and cost advantages are substantial too. Now, the traditional Chapter 11 proceedings involve legal fees exceeding 2,500 per hour, often totaling tens of millions over several months of hearing and motions. Now, out-of-court deals can be executed within weeks with a fraction of the professional fees. This brings us to the warning signs ahead. Here's a catch that should concern everyone. Moody's data reveals that companies avoiding bankruptcy through these capital raises often default again within a couple of years. Major names like Envision Healthcare and Delmont Foods all completed comprehensive out-of-court restructuring only to end up in the formal Chapter 11 proceedings anyway. When these kick-the-can strategies eventually fail, the resulting bankruptcies are often more complex and contentious than they would have been originally, because now they're laden with litigation from creditors who were disadvantaged in the initial distressed stage. Now, what does this mean for the market? Now, this transformation is actually reflective of several broader trends that we are seeing in the market, which are like capital abundance, legal innovation, information asymmetry. When we are talking about the capital abundance has made aggressive refinancing possible, and weak covenant structures have given debtors more room to maneuver against the creditors. When we are talking about legal innovation, it is outpacing regulatory response, creating opportunities for sophisticated actors to exploit the gaps in traditional debt documentation. When we are talking about information asymmetry, it is being weaponized with company-side advisors using superior knowledge of capital structures to disadvantage less informed creditors. And then there is the rise of specialists, for example, the financing lawyers who understand how to dissect loan agreements and bond indentures for exploitable loopholes. And this signals that the technical expertise in the capital markets law may now matter more than traditional bankruptcy knowledge. The bottom line here being that we are witnessing the emergence of a new paradigm, wherein financial engineering often trumps the fundamental business improvement. While this may preserve equity value in the short term and reduce immediate restructuring costs, it raises serious questions about whether we are simply deferring and amplifying future problems.